Hey everyone, it's the Angry Honey Badger, and it's time for us to take a look at another champion build video. Today, I'm actually going to be playing as Vladimir in the top lane. I'm going up against Yorick. Unfortunately, little replay is a little broken, so if there's little random snippets in this game that look a little awkward, that's just because I had recorded off of unupdated League, which is on my laptop. So, we have that we're dealing with. You might also see shadows randomly appear. So, what is going on at level 1? I usually take boots and pots. Going to be using those pots fairly early. Both of us in this top lane have a handful of sustain because he has sustain from his ghouls, from his little red one, and I can obviously get back life with my Q ability, which is what you're going to want to take at level 1, and that is your transfusion. And what happens is you basically pick a target and you drain life from it, and you're going to get some life back. So that's going to be nice to obviously poke at them. So it's a good way to exchange little hits and hurt them and heal yourself. So you can do that off minions if you just need to get your life back. Obviously, Vladimir's ability really don't cost anything. I mean, they cost blood, or some of them do. Or, you know, they're on cooldown based on time. So that's just something you have to pay attention. So he's not really mana-based or anything like that. He's more so like a Mundo. So that's what we have at level 1. Basically, take your transfusion, and that's what I like to max out first as well. If you do not know what Vladimir's passive is, it's actually kind of interesting. For every 40 points of bonus health you get 1 ability power. And for every bonus 1 point of ability power you get 1.4 health. So basically, you can get some extra health and some extra fun stuff. There I kind of dove. Yorick, just hit him with the ult. I was going to run away, but their mid lane, Malzahar, is going to find me almost immediately. I do get out of that pool, but he's still going to ult me. He's going to do a ton of damage and kill me. So, good work on for their Malz. He was getting over there quick. I don't know how he got over there so fast, but good work by him. He actually is pretty good on the enemy team. You'll see him get a handful of kills this game. But, so that's his passive, as I was just talking about. This last time back at base, what I like to try to get for my first item is that Hex Tech Revolver, and that's going to be very helpful. It's going to be some AP, and it's going to give me Spell Vamp. So every time I do that transfusion, it's going to hurt even more. Now at level 2, probably you're going to want to put 1 point in your pool, which is what you'll see when I ducked under to get underneath the Yorick when I was diving him. And it's a good ability to actually dodge other abilities from some champions, like if Caitlyn's ulting you, and right when the bullet's about to come get you, just duck with your pool into the ground, basically, and avoid that shot. So that's something you can do with that. What that's going to do, though, is it's going to cost you a percentage of your current health. And so you don't really want to use it when you are completely full, because it's going to obviously cost you more health to use it. But that's what that does do, and it's going to deal damage based on a percentage whenever you are using it and you are underneath the enemies. It also does slow them, so in big team fights, when they group up, it's pretty smart to jump into your pool to keep them all slowed in that area while you hurt all of them. So you're going to see that a couple times this game as well. I also did buy a pink ward to ward top to kind of counter ward 2 a little bit. Me and him keep getting into fights because, like I said, this is a weird sustain lane where both of us sustain a lot, so you'll keep seeing him poke back at me, I'll keep poking back at him. So lots of that going on. I just ulted him there just for fun to kind of get him to stay away from me. And, yeah, kind of a weird lane top, but that's going to happen. And then, as for, at level 3, you're going to want to put a point in your Tides of Blood, which is another ability he uses. You basically just unleash these little dots to enemies that are within its range, and it's going to deal some damage as well. So, it does some other things, too. But that's basically some other damage, and that is what you're going to want to max out second. And then your pool you're going to max out probably last. Just kind of depends on how you're going, but typically for laning, that's what you're going to want to do. So, points in Q, then your E, then your W, and you're going to take your alt at levels 6, 11, and 16, which is your ultimate. Can't think of the name of it for now, but basically whatever happens is whenever you hit your champions, or the enemy champions with it, everybody who is affected by it, it's basically going to, after 5 seconds, it's going to detonate, and it's going to deal a handful of damage, but while they are inflicted with that, you do, I believe, 12% increased damage. So at the start of a fight, you'll usually see Vlad use it first, because he'll use that, and then he'll maybe use his E and his Q, and then he'll pool underneath them to get increased damage from all of those abilities. So that's something you just need to pay attention to and use when you want to get the maximum amount out of your ultimate. So drop that first and then use your abilities. But sometimes you may drop your ult afterwards just because you weren't really sure if you were going to get into a fight right away or not. So that's just something to remember, but that's what all of his abilities do. Back at base, I did pick up the Cage's Lucky Pick because that is going to team up, I believe, with that Hex Tech Revolver and build into my Will of the Ancients. I'm going to probably pick that up fairly early in the game, and because it's just going to obviously help me even more. Although I am starting to build a Haunting Guise, as you can see, is something I built, trying to start to get a little bit of health on Vladimir and some more damage, and I'll have that Magic Penetration too, which is going to be very, very helpful. So just kind of getting damage. What I like to do with Vladimir, and you can do this a few different ways. There's many ways you can play Vlad. You can almost play him as a straight tank and not worry about getting AP items because he's going to get some AP because of his passive. So you can play him as like a really weird kind of like survival tank who just is there and he's annoying because he can keep casting because he's not dying because he just stacked health and armor and magic resist. Getting to a little bit of a fight with York. I'm going to ult him, keep using abilities, pull underneath him, deal some damage. I think I'm going to continue using abilities as well. I am going to kill him, but unfortunately he's going to come back in his ghost now, and he is going to kill me before his ghost timer is up. So not much I could do back at that point. So that's just, you know, little unfortunate that he has that, but it's a weird lane we got in top. I have to fight two of them when he ults, and then we both can lifesteal basically off of each other. So just a lot of weird stuff happening early on in this game. We are farming pretty well, though. I do have 122 farms so far. Not outrageously epic, but, you know, farming at least, because I was able to kind of keep him off them for a little bit early, and I've had to make him consider buying magic resist fairly early in this game, so he's actually starting to stack a lot of magic resist against me because of all the pokes that Vladimir does. Now, if you are in top lane and you are against Vlad, you are probably going to want to build some magic resist to negate some of that damage. Right now, he's got a couple different magic resist items. I think he's probably building towards Merc Treads, and I think he starts to build towards a Spirit Visage. So he's really trying to prevent me from really poking on him so much that he cannot lane at all. So if you're up in top and you're a bruiser, you might want to consider picking up a Hex Drinker, because that's going to help you out in a few different ways. Here I'm coming to top. We're getting a bit of a fight. Zed's getting really close to dead. I'm going to come in here and use my ultimate pool. Gonna kill the Lee Sin and kill this Malzahar real quick. Unfortunately, Zed does die, but Rammus cleans up on Tark and kills him. And I think they're gonna run after somebody and maybe kill them. Maybe not. Oh, nope, they do. They kill York, who was over there. So we got up there in time, luckily. Unfortunately, we did lose Zed, but we are going to pick up a handful of kills and continue to push a little bit. So, like I was saying, there's a few different ways that you can really play Vladimir, and I would suggest, as much as this is, you know, one of my build videos, where I'm going to suggest how I like to usually play him, which, you know, this is how I usually go about it. Try out a few different ways, because there's, like I said, there's a lot of different ways you can do this, because you can do that stacking health and kind of that, what do you want to call it? Stacking health and just be a tank and be super annoying. And then the other thing that you can do is you can go full AP and not really buy anything that has health to it. Pick up, you know, just Hourglass, Death Cap, Scepter, and Void Staff, which is another valid build, and then with your Will of the Ancients, and that's going to give you a lot of damage, and it is going to help you get some health, so you're going to naturally get kind of tanky. Here I'm going to get kind of left out. I thought we were going to go in. I am going to pick up a few assists, though, so I guess that's okay. Or maybe, yeah, I can pick up 3 assists. There it was, Sacrifice Vlad. So there's a lot of ways you can do this. I kind of do a combination, which kind of is just different, not really weird, but that's just something you have to remember. So what I'm doing is I have that Will of the Ancients because it's really going to help me out with everything costing my life, so I'm going to get it back as I use that will, or have that will. I do actually take the Ionian Boots of Lucidity, which actually become cheaper after I believe this game was recorded, so that's even easier to pick up those now, which is going to give you cooldown reduction, because that's kind of your main thing. You don't have to worry about mana, you don't have to worry about energy. So cooldowns are your big thing for getting off your abilities. So make sure you probably pick up boots like that. So it's going to be very, very helpful for just unleashing your abilities and really hurting people. And so that's just the key boots that I would consider to get. That Will of the Ancients is pretty standard for almost all the Vlad builds. Now, from here on, like I said, I kind of do a combination of those two styles of the full tank and that full AP. So what I'm going to start to build right now is, I still have that Haunting Guise, and that will become a Liandry's Torment later on in this game. But right now I am building that Rylai's Crystal Scepter, which is going to give me health. It's also going to slow them too every time I hit them with one of my abilities. So every time I am in my pool under a whole team, it really is going to slow them down a lot more. Here we're going to take Dragon, but Tark is going to move up. I don't know if he overcommits here a little too soon or just wanted to steal the Dragon. His team's really not going to get here in time. Lee Sin did try to do the maneuver to jump through that wall. We are going to move in onto this Malzahar as well. I believe I'm going to pick up the kill on him with something, I'm guessing. I don't know. Just chucking out abilities all over the place. Oh, pooling underneath him, yeah. And Lee Sin's over here as well. Going to come over here and ult him and use my abilities on him. He's going to jump away, but ignited, and with my ult on him, that is going to kill him. So I'm going to pick up a quick double kill, and Caitlyn is going to fear for her life and run away. So, going to go back to base now. Going to be able to finish off a handful of items, continue building as well. Gonna pick up that Crystal Scepter, gonna slow everybody, give me a lot more health, and give me some more AP, and that's gonna obviously help with the passive, which is gonna do even more. Right now, we do have 307 AP right now, which really isn't too bad, and we got almost 3,000 life, so we're doing pretty good in that aspect. I did pick up another Amplifying Tome, which is gonna go towards that Torment that I was talking about. Vlad also is a very strong pusher because of his E ability, being able to hit many targets, and that pool is very good for just cleaning out minions really fast. And as much as the pool does cost you your life, since you do have that Will of the Ancients, you get a lot of it back right away, and you can come out and take like a big Q out of somebody with that transfusion and get a lot of life back. So just something that you can remember while you're playing Vladimir. Get into all types of fights. So we can do a bunch of little ones here, and we can probably go back and finish off that Torment. Whether or not we do that right now, we will see. But so that's kind of how things are going for now. Vladimir is kind of annoying, as many people, if you do not play him, I think he's really annoying when you have to lane against him because he has so much sustain. If you are having a little bit of a tougher lane, just kind of sit back and make sure you keep using your transfusion to get life off of the minions, just to kind of stay in lane. Obviously, if you don't want to feed them anymore if you have fallen behind. So there's a few ways that you can kind of be tricky with Vlad and just kind of stay around and always pick up experience. I'm going to get into a little weird fight here. I get silenced, and I pick up a ton of damage, and I think I get silenced again, so I can't really do anything. But we're going to get to another little fight in just a second. So just some things to just remember about Vlad and his playstyle. So here, Yorick kind of does move in. We're kind of all, two of us are at half life, and we're just dealing with that. He's going to get taunted by Rammus. And then we have Malzahar over here as well. I'm trying to pull over there and slow him. He is ignited. I don't think he's going to die, but we will be able to pick up the kill on the Malzahar. So that did happen, and Zed came over and killed that Yorick. So I'm taking a lot of damage from that Malefic Vision from that Malzahar. But that is going to happen, and I'm going to have to deal with that because he is doing really well this game. That last time we were back at base, we did buy that Leandri's Torment. And so that way we're going to be dealing even more damage, and when they are slowed, especially with that pool, you're really going to be doing a lot of damage to them. At this moment, I have my items that I feel will get me kind of beefy with health and with AP and damage-wise with those items, and just have some good spell vamp. Also, that Will of the Ancients does have ability power for your team. You have to remember that Will is a very, very good item for your team. So I am helping out my team as well. We're going to get to a little bit of a fight here. Got to kind of move over towards this Vlad. He is the damage dealer. Here comes the pool to hurt everybody that I can. And everybody is ulted already with my ult. I am going to kill that Malzahar and continue using my abilities on whomever I please. We're going to basically clean it up pretty quick. Caitlyn is somewhere else. I don't think she is dead. That was just a ghost of her from the Yorick ult. We're going to move forward, though, and continue to push. Things are going our way for the most part this game. And we're going to be able to take mid pretty quick and maybe run out of here. Maybe go for a Baron if we can. Yeah, steal their blue buff as well. So just doing a few things to kind of negate them from getting their items. At this point, though, in the game, we are building that needlessly large rod. Now, if you are dealing with a team that is really hurting you a lot, typically I don't have this problem because this build usually gets you beefy enough you don't have to worry about it, and you have that spell vamp. So you usually don't have to worry about it, but if their whole team happens to be attack damage, you may want to start getting your Zhonya's Hourglass as a really strong item for you because you can go into stasis. So that's a really strong item on Vladimir. At this point, though, I would be building this into my death cap, which is going to help my AP out even more, so which I did just pick up. So now we're at 630 AP, and we are at 3,700 health. So we have a lot of damage, and we do have a lot of health. So as much as we don't have a lot of resists right now, we could finish off the build with our last item as that Scepter, which is going to help us out with even more damage. And then that will also give us some magic resist too. But it just kind of comes down, that last item, basically, if you want to go Hourglass, you can do Hourglass, because that's going to be great if they have lots of armor. You can do that Abyssal Scepter. if you need the magic resist and you want to do damage that way, or you can just go with a void staff if you're doing fine, or you know, classic guardian angel's never a bad idea. If you were doing that full tanky Vladimir, you may just want to go with a warmogs, because that health's going to be converted into some AP. So there's like a handful of ways to really play Vlad. I'd say the first key items for me at least are that Will, Rylai's, and that Torment, because all those are going to be very helpful for the type of damage you're dealing there. Malzahar is going to get absolutely destroyed by Lux. He tried to go B there, but that was not a safe place. Got to go back a little further than that, especially for hanging out in your jungle. So that's pretty much the build, guys. As for the runes I go with Magic Penetration Marks, and then I took Armor Seals this game, but if you want to get health per level scaling seals, those are also very good. And then I also go with Magic Resist. Or no, I don't. I go with AP per level glyphs, and then I believe I had AP quintessences as well. So there's a few different versions you can do, just depending on your overall play style that you are doing with Vladimir. It just comes down to personal preference, but it works fairly well for me, and I do enjoy the build, and it works out pretty well. You have a handful of survivability, and you still contribute a lot of damage to the team. So that's just the way I like to play him. And as for those masteries, I go with the classic 21-9-0, 21 the offensive tree, get all the AP stuff you can, and then in that defense, make sure you pick up the stuff that will give you more health every level and that bonus health early on. So that's going to be very helpful for Vladimir. But that's going to be the game, guys. If you have any questions, you can go ahead and put those down in the comments. Don't forget to like and subscribe. But other than that, I'll just see all of you in the next build video. Here, luckily they're grouping up. They're all going to get affected by my ultimate, take tons of damage, get slowed, get stuck behind that wall, still get stuck in that ultimate. Going to be able to kill Thresh fairly quick, and I'm going to probably pick up another kill, I'm guessing, on someone. Yep, on the Amumu.